Welcome to the Mod Labs podcast, the Mod Debrief.
This is your Smart Girl's Guide to anything branding, marketing, business, and life. Today we are joined by Dr. Candy Drillon Dalman, who is the founder of Centro Holistico, a Philippine-based medical wellness center specializing in integrative and functional medicine, focusing on treating the whole person, from your mind, your body, and your spirit, rather than just your symptoms. Let's all welcome Dr. Candy.
Hello, ladies.
We made it through the intro.
Okay, so Doc Candy, I want you to introduce yourself to the audience. So for those of us listening there in their homes and their podcasts, what is it that you do, and what do you do beyond the title? Like something not a lot of people know about you.
Okay, so professionally, I'm a doctor. So as mentioned earlier, I practice functional and integrative medicine. So a lot of people don't know what that term means, but in a nutshell, like layman's term, functional medicine is all about bringing back the basic function of the human body down to the cellular level. Because if everything is functioning well, you should not have any disease, or you will age gracefully, sort of. So that's what when we do our consultation, so we get to know the whole person, like down to how much you poop, like stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So,
I would know.
So those of you that has gone through our consultations, you know that it lasts for like at least 45 minutes, sometimes even more than an hour, just so that we can pinpoint what's going on. If you do have a certain disease, what brought it up, what's the root cause, what's happening, and then just bring back, the natural function of your body. So we do all of these like treatments, diets, supplements, just to bring back the normal functioning. So that's where the integrative part comes in. So I started out as an purely integrative medicine doctor. So it's like using, instead of just pure medications like for the pharmaceuticals, we also make use of, let's say, herbs, supplements, and all that to help the body. But back then, we didn't have like a specific system of how to look at the body. So now, when functional medicine came in, we discovered it like maybe a year or two after we put up Centro, and we were able to like have a specific system of how to look at the body and more tests. That's why when I don't know if we made you guys go through all the tests
Yes,
already,
Yes, we
like
did.
all
We
those
did.
50 tests and everything. So we kind of look at the body not just as oh, you have asthma, take this, or you have a cardiovascular disease, take this. So it's all interconnected, and just like our whole body, it's not just your arm is not disconnected to your torso. So when you have a disease of one thing, it's probably affecting the rest of it. So that's how we approach.
Does it also include lifestyle?
Definitely, because a lot of maybe about like 60% to 70% of the diseases that we see is all lifestyle related, or the things that they feel is aggravated by their lifestyle. So even those genetic illnesses, you can somehow lessen the negative effects if your lifestyle is good. So yes, definitely.
Okay. So, what made you start this business? Like,
Oh,
I
gosh.
know you have experience prior to starting this, but like, what made you really push the button and okay, I'm starting my own?
Okay, so I graduated, gosh, what year was that? 2012, from Ateneo School of Medicine and Public Health. So we have a dual degree. It's an MD and an MBA degree. So it wasn't this,
wow.
yeah, it's a dual degree and finished in 5 years. So, the curriculum was a bit
Efficiency.
crazy. Very efficient, but
Yeah.
really,
Crazy.
crazy. Um, and then after that, I kind of knew I didn't want to go into the whole hospital thing. I didn't want to go into the residency, but I had a real passion for primary health, public health. So I thought I wanted to go into that route, like do like DOH, or NGO. So I did join an NGO initially, and then after that I realized that why I want to go smaller. Like I want to touch people's lives one at a time versus like doing a program for like a whole region.
Yeah.
So we decided, like, we were lucky. This were like faith and just energies just collide. We One of our old professors was with a medical resort, was with the farm at San Benito
Oh,
at
yeah.
that time, and then he was recruiting doctors because, as you know, doctors in our field are not we're very few, compared to the rest of the doctors. So he was recruiting doctors, and then we just went and to check it out what it's all about, and then we decided to practice there, and then that's it. That's how it all started. So when we decided to leave the farm because basically it's a very high-end resort.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Filipinos aren't able to, are not able to pay that amount
Yeah.
to get that kind of treatment. So we decided, parang, okay, parang I think we can start something outside, like an outpatient thing. Because in the farm, you have to check
Yes,
in,
you have to check
right?
in.
Yeah, so
It's
like,
like integrated into their accommodations.
yes. So with us, initially we were looking for clinics that were already doing this thing. But we didn't really find a lot. Maybe one, for example, it's an acupuncture clinic, or one is just doing the colon cleanse, one's just doing the drips. So we wanted everything in one center.
Yeah.
So that's when we decided to put everything together, all of our practices, and then just keep on studying more because our field is so vast, and there's a lot of advances my God, even every year, every 6 months. So we just kept on studying everything, and that's how Centro started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how long has Centro been around? 10 years, right?
More.
more?
We started, first branch was 2014.
More
Yeah,
than 10 years.
More than 10 years, turning
It's-
12 this year.
It's
yeah.
not easy to have a business that lasts
It's
12
not.
years.
It's
so
not.
the sustainability, the grit.
Yep.
Looking back on your journey as a founder, what is your proudest moment?
When we opened our second branch, that was 2017. That was in Pasig City. So the Grove branch. We were so proud because we were thinking before, are we gonna expand the Alabang clinic to get in more of the patients because we're getting fully booked.
Yes.
And then we decided maybe we should reach another area. And we were, what, 4 doctors or 5 doctors back then? We were like, okay, I think we can cater naman, like have 1 doctor per clinic for if we open another branch. So we decided to open up Pasig. The start was not as the same as Alabang. In Alabang, that was a Hail Mary, guys. I mean, we had no idea what if it would fly. Because it was 2014, the wellness industry was not very big back then. Like we had yoga studios and
Yes.
we acupuncture clinics were around, but it wasn't really like
It's very niche
big.
pa.
It's very niche pa. And the type of patients that we would get were the ones that they were looking for alternatives
Yeah.
to whatever. So it was a different market. And then, so when people started coming in, and we didn't have like much marketing naman back
Yes.
then. It was just I don't-
Organic.
organic.
Word
The
of
first,
mouth.
yes, more referrals
Yes.
than anything. And then the bloggers started coming in.
Yes. That was
Then-
the age.
Yes,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
blogs. And then, that's how it started. Budget-wise, not so much also, like for marketing, we didn't have it. So it was all very organic. So when we started getting more and more patients, we're like, oh my gosh, it's really becoming a thing. And I would talk to random people that are not in my circle, and they would hear about our clinic. That's really a proud moment for them to hear your brand,
Yeah.
and not really being, you haven't even touched them yet.
Yes,
they're not yet your
yes.
patient. So yeah, that's major for us.
What do you think would be like a great challenge that you've conquered through the years of like building this brand for like 12 years? And yeah, just share us your journey.
Pandemic.
Oh my God, yeah.
So how was that? How did you pivot during the pandemic?
Oh gosh, that was hard. Pandemic, we were forced to close, of course, but fortunately, we were still considered medical. So
Yes.
we opened, I think, 6 or 8 weeks into the pandemic, but patients weren't coming in because a lot of them were scared, right?
Yes.
The only patients, siguro mga 90% of the patients that we would get were the fertility
Yeah.
patients because they couldn't pause naman their
Yes,
treatments,
exactly.
diba? So you're getting those, and a lot, maybe more cancer patients that time because
Yes.
again, they couldn't pause their
critical,
treatments.
yeah.
Yeah. But we weren't able to, of course, get the numbers that we did before the pandemic. So that was really hard because the patient volume that we had
Yes.
before, it was really good na. And then how do we pivot? We were lucky that, well, me and my husband back then, we would sell whatever we could find. Mangoes. I don't know if
Yeah.
some of your
Yeah.
you guys heard that we sold mangoes and vegetables and fruits during the pandemic. And then talagang just survive, diba?
Yeah.
And then we were lucky that some of our landlords were, cut the rent. So
Yes.
maybe for a few months they weren't charging, or they would only charge when we were open.
Yeah.
And then it's only 50%. So we were very lucky. We also have suppliers and landlords that were very, very nice.
Considerate.
Very, very considerate.
I think at that point, pandemic was survival mode for everyone.
Super.
Especially businesses.
Yes.
Our family business actually closed down during the
Oh my
pandemic.
gosh.
So it was a very difficult time because we had a manpower agency before, so it's more people.
Yeah.
And my mom, and my dad, he was still alive back then. they made the difficult decision to really close down the agency because we couldn't handle the logistics of it all, because we were handling many people from different provinces. And my mom was on mission. My dad was also like going through health conditions, health difficulties. So we couldn't really be hands on. And so I agree with you. Like a lot of businesses during the pandemic had a really hard time surviving.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful thing that you were able to pivot. Like it's not
Very
about
thankful.
like it's not about just, you mentioned selling mangoes, selling vegetables and everything. At the end of the day, it's just how do you survive?
Yeah.
How do you sustain your employees also?
Exactly. That was kind of hard actually because of course we did have money in the bank, but it would only sustain you for so much.
Yes.
For how long, diba?
Yes.
There's no one expected naman that we were gonna be closed for how many
years.
months,
We
diba?
were one of the countries that had the
Yeah.
longest,
Longest
lockdown.
lockdowns.
Exactly.
And we had like parang
In and out
in and
eh.
out.
Yeah.
Hungry talaga for anything that would,
Yeah.
sustain a business.
Exactly. So with us now, it's still hard like siguro, 2022, 2023 was getting better. 2024 was better. 25 was, I don't know, for
Yeah.
some reason, a lot of the
Growth.
businesses were not doing as well as 2024. I think they had like people had revenge spending. 2023,
Yes.
2024, and then
Yes.
2025 we're like, okay, stagnate
Yeah.
everything. But I think because our business, we're the owners and we're also the practitioners.
Yeah.
So we kind of know what's going on and we're able to adapt and adjust to what other people are doing. And if we're very passionate with what we do, I mean, that's how we look at it. As long as we do it well or as much we do our best and for our patients and everything, then patients are just going to come.
You touched on about like being a business owner and also a practitioner. How do you balance being both?
Hard. I think I'm lucky that I have a partner that's
Yeah.
also my life partner that he balances me out. Okay,
Wow.
so with me, I think I'm not creative like in terms of drawing and all of that, but in terms of the business, I'm more of the creative one, and he's more of the numbers guy. So he really touches a lot of the operations
Yeah.
and stuff. I'm more of the big idea, and he makes it happen.
Yes.
So parang the way he describes it, I'm like the balloon and he's like the one who's pulling me down. Parang don't
Yes.
fly off too much. Mga ganon.
Yeah.
So it's a good balance.
Yeah.
So that's one of my weaknesses kasi. I have a heart for like, okay, I want this like this, I want this like that. But he's the one that grounds me. So yeah, it's good to have a partner that's like that. If you no one is, 100% of
Yes.
everything, diba?
Yes.
It's so hard to do that. So yeah, I'm very lucky when it comes to that.
I think we talked about that also in a previous episode. It's all about humility and finding the right people around you.
Yeah.
For me, it's like V. She grounds me. Like
Mhm.
I'm also a numbers person, but in terms of like the vision and like the grounding part is more of like emotions, because I feel like I get overwhelmed a lot.
Yes, same.
Right?
It's
Like,
the same.
I overthink, I over like whatever, and then so like I crunch my numbers, I have all my Excel sheets, but at the end of the day, what grounds me is like, okay, we don't get from one step.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one step at a time.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no shortcut to it.
None.
It's more of just like surrender, trust, know you're doing the right thing, and just the next step will reveal itself.
Yep.
And I think
Especially
it's
businesses, no? It's so
and,
hard.
and it's really hard because you're really hard because as a business owner, you want to also control the outcome, the profitability.
Yes.
How
Right?
I wish.
How do we, right?
Yes.
We want to. Because
Yeah.
no one wants, we said this in another podcast, no one wants to lose money in a business.
Mhm.
We're all here to make money.
Exactly.
And of course, that also comes with business anxiety, with what will happen
Risks.
if this idea doesn't work.
Yep.
So we say, we're like, just take it one day at a time. Let's do our best today, and tomorrow will reveal itself.
Yep. That's if you're really passionate with what you do,
Yeah.
and you believe that it's for the good of everyone. It's just gonna start, coming out, revealing itself.
Reveal itself.
And yeah, eventually it will just, have a life of its own. Hopefully it's a good life.
Exactly. So I wanted to talk about the industry of health and wellness today and how much it's changed over the last few years. It's becoming more popular. Everyone, like what we said, everyone's posting on TikTok about TCM and this and that. And every single post in my feed is a Pilates studio
Yeah.
versus growing up. It was just hard to find one yoga studio. You know what I mean?
It's
True.
just gym.
It's just gym,
Yes.
right?
And everything's there.
Everything's there. And how do you feel as your business being in the health and wellness space? What do you feel about the industry today?
I'm so happy. Like
Yeah.
everyone's more conscious about their health. They're very the health seeking behavior is a lot better compared to when we started, because a lot of our patients before were really sick people na. Like
Yeah.
they were already diagnosed, they're already taking several medications. Unlike now, we get more well patients. I just hope that, they'd stop Googling too much about,
Yeah.
random
Now it's more
things.
anxiety.
Do you feel they
Yes.
come to you with so many of their own self-diagnosis?
Yes, a lot. Especially now with the AI stuff.
Yes.
They use
Sometimes you take a picture of something and then AI will like
calculate,
diagnose
yes.
and everything.
Is
Oh my gosh.
ChatGPT their doctor?
Yes,
Oh, no.
exactly. And before it was just Google
Yeah.
and whatever.
Yeah.
But
You have
now,
to find the articles and
yep,
everything.
now it's all AI. But I'm happy in the sense that people know this industry more or know what they're looking for. Because when they start looking, they'll find you eventually, diba? So it's the same like with all the yoga studios popping up and more wellness clinics are actually popping up. We're very happy about that actually. We don't see them as competition. It's really, I think it's all very synergistic. We never offer the same thing.
Yeah.
Like even if, for example, another integrative medicine clinic would pop up, they have different practitioners as we do. The style is different.
Yeah.
So if there are some patients that don't jive well with one doctor, but they'll jive well with another doctor, so it's all fine.
I love that mentality because a lot of people in our culture might have crab mentality and think of everything as a threat and competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way you view it is, hey, if everyone in the Philippines becomes healthy, we all win.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like
we'd all be pretty.
we're all gonna be pretty. We're all gonna be happy. We're all gonna be laughing.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be hot. Shout out to Monica. Who I know is in the
That's her life motto. I just want to
Be
be
hot.
hot.
Yeah.
So a rising tide lifts all boats.
Now looking back, how do you think our inner health affect our outer performance and productivity as a leader, as a creative, as someone who's been raised to be a girl boss?
It's 100% connected. I mean, if you're not functioning well on the inside, how can your brain function? Right? Like being a boss in general or just being, a regular person like doing their everyday stuff. It requires the brain power. It requires your body to move. It requires your eyes to see. So if something on the inside is not working properly, it's eventually going to affect every single system in your body, every single organ, and you won't be able to function. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of functional medicine. We want you guys to function properly.
Yeah.
So if you're that's why I always tell my patients, don't ignore symptoms.
Yeah.
Like for example, you get a migraine once a month and you know the timing. Like there's something wrong. Like
Yes.
pain is never good, guys.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
with women, and I don't know if it's like just me, but like with me, I normalize pain.
Yes.
Like even menstrual cramps or everything.
Mhm.
Like, I saw an article like a few weeks ago about like a girl who already passed away, and then when they had an autopsy on her body, they found out endometriosis.
Yeah.
And she was complaining for like 10 years about
Of the
it.
pain.
And then no doctor could diagnose it.
Yeah.
So, like these types of symptoms that we usually ignore or other people would ignore, it's something that you really have to listen to.
Yes, really. Like the smallest symptom.
Yeah.
Kasi kaya they call it disease. It's not just because it's like already diagnosed. Like disease comes from the term dis-ease. You're not as at ease with your body. So even tiny symptoms like that, because we normalize it because
Yeah.
we think it's so common, but
Yeah.
common is not normal.
Yeah.
Right? So even like those little things, like you get the occasional tummy aches or the GERD or the those
Yes.
big tummy aches, it's not normal.
I think people also try to disguise it as strength.
Mhm.
Like I'm just gonna push
Push through the pain,
Yes.
push through the
yeah,
pain, no
yeah.
pain, no gain, and
To a
it's like
certain
no.
extent.
Yeah.
To a certain extent,
Yeah.
it can. If it's very
Yeah.
acute or very short term,
Yeah.
for example, a workout, right?
Yeah.
Like the pain is there to make you strong. It kind of makes you stronger. But if the pain doesn't go away after 24 or 48 hours, there's something wrong. Your
Yeah.
recovery is not good. So you have to figure out, okay, why is my recovery not good? What am I not taking, or what am I doing too much? Same with, especially with women, we
Yeah.
have cycles pa.
Yes.
So many things to think about,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, we really have to get to know our bodies and our cycles and when to do this, when to do that. We're not men. Men just have like one cycle, like testosterone all throughout. But with women, diba, it's different. So we have to know the cycle, like don't overstress your body in certain times of the month and all of that, because these can deplete it can be doing well in one aspect but deplete you in another.
Yeah.
So it's all about balance, all about timing.
as someone highly productive who's so used to like persevering and like getting through the pain and being strong, independent,
Mm-hmm.
etc., how do you think they should start? Like, how do you think you would convince them to start like taking care of their body?
It's all about self-awareness. There are people who have high pain tolerance, like even when it comes to emotions, diba? Like there's a certain generation that the mental health is a big thing. Like a little bit of stress, they don't like na, then
Yeah.
they just step out of it. But I think in our generation,
That's not me, girl.
No, I was like thinking avoidant. Oh my gosh.
I'm a millennial.
right? With millennials naman, they thought before that we were the emotional ones. But like looking back now, like, ang dami
No.
naming
We
tiniis,
We went through
diba?
a lot. We
So,
went through a lot of,
yeah.
of
Yeah.
journeys.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it really it's all about resiliency also to a certain extent. You have to make your body more resilient to stress, to emotions, to the highs and the lows of the body and to the environment. So that's why it's important to stay healthy because how to become more resilient? You have to make sure that your neurotransmitters are firing. You have to make sure you have enough of that, and how do you make sure of that? You have to make sure that your gut is healthy,
Yeah.
so that you are able to produce those neurotransmitters. How do you make sure of that? You make sure that you get the right nutrients, ingredients, and all of
Yes.
that. So it's all about balance, and I won't really say that we cannot be stressed
Yeah.
because my gosh, like
Yeah.
where do we live right now, right?
Yes.
Our bodies also need to be stressed once in a while because the more stress you put in your, let's say, your body, those who exercise a lot, it actually, the stress, when they exercise, it brings in more calcium into the bones, and then that's how you do not develop osteoporosis. So an enough amount of stress is okay for you. You just have to be resilient to it. You have to be, your body has to be very it has all of the ingredients for your body to recover properly.
Okay, for those of you listening who is very cerebral, I think that like line and everything, that explanation is so on point of why we should take care of our bodies and how do we sustain our energy as a leader, as a creative, or even as a member of a corporate
Yep.
company.
We should send this podcast to all the HR managers.
I know, right?
You can get a special package with Centro.
Centro.
Yes. Use the code ModFriends. But seriously, I think a lot of people also at the same time, let's be real. Some people are afraid of health, right? Just because
It's not
they're
sexy.
It's not.
Yes.
It's not sexy. Monica makes it sexy, but it's not. It's the type wherein some people avoid going to the doctor because they're afraid to discover something. So,
Yeah.
what would you say to those people who you feel are resistant to checking in on their health?
If you want to live longer, or if you want to die pretty, to the vain ones, I always tell my patients and my family, I'm not afraid to die. I'm afraid to die ugly. So if
Yes.
you do not want to die ugly, you really have to get yourself checked. Just know
Yeah.
what's going on. There's such a thing as preventive. If our cars go through preventive maintenance, why shouldn't we, diba?
Yes.
So really, if you take care of your car, like every 3 months you have it checked. Same goes with us.
Yeah.
If you really want to have that high functioning body, even until your 80s, you have to start early on, not when you start getting all of the symptoms. Because when you have symptoms already, it's not really too late, but it's gonna be harder to reverse. So it's all about maintaining that level of health that you want. There are some people, they'd want, like when we ask some patients, okay, what's your definition of happiness, or what's your definition of health? A lot of them would go, or maybe 20% would go, me, I want to be able to exercise but still drink every day. I'm like, okay, wait, I have to do something about that. I don't know. So you don't, if you don't have like plans to quit or quit smoking, right? So, no, that makes me happy. Okay, let's just detox you every day. Just give something, because it's already their mindset, especially the older generation.
Yeah.
Are you gonna make them like stop the years of habits? The people really have to have that mindset when they come to you. And I always ask them, what's your goal?
Yeah.
Diba? It's really, what's your goal? If their goal is to, optimization, then we go that route. If their goal is to, maintain and just keep breathing while still smoking their cigarette, we can work with that too. But, it's not ideal, but we can work with that too.
Yeah. I think what you said is that you want to talk to people in all journeys.
Yes,
Right?
definitely.
And then if they
definitely.
can just elevate from wherever they are to the next level, amazing.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It's all about helping them get to where they want to be.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
So in Mod Labs, we are a personal branding agency, and we want to talk about your personal brand.
Oh gosh, did I have one?
Yes, you do. You're a doctor and founder. How is your journey in terms of showing up online and posting on social media?
I post random stuff, but yeah, I tried as much as possible. I try to be authentic. Whatever I'm doing, that's what I post. So whenever like brands also approach me, I'm always gonna say, "Nah, okay, I'm gonna post this." But if the brief does not match with what I do, it's gonna be a different post. It's gonna be have something different because I'm a doctor and I'm a doctor in wellness, and I cannot post anything that is not authentic to me.
Yeah.
And even when it comes to other random things, like for the kids, like for my dogs, I breed dogs, so that I have a lot of posts about that. It's everything just has to be authentic. If I would like write a caption, I make sure that it sounds like me. Like how I would speak, how
Yeah.
like if I won't say this word, I'll I won't use it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all about authenticity for me and what my passions are. I'm not just a doctor. I'm also a wife and
Yeah.
a mom, a dog breeder. All of these things. So I try to whenever I show up online, I try to show a little bit of that of each side of me whenever I do that.
I love that. You're holistic in your business and you're
Yeah.
holistic in your branding.
Yes.
Look at the through line.
Because I like so
Yes.
many things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I like going to the beach. I like going to dog shows. I like I like a lot of things. So
And I,
yeah.
I like that perspective because a lot of people feel like they only have to show one side
Yes.
in their
Yeah.
personal brand, which puts a lot of pressure on them. But also, after some time, they also change their identity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice that you're grounded in your full identity as
Yep.
a human
Yeah.
versus just looking at one aspect of your life and
Yes.
making that everything.
I think with me, because I have Centro, so we have like the socials for Centro, like all the medical stuff, they can already get there. So I don't really post a lot of medical things when it comes to unless it's just like my journey, like my weight loss journey and all of that. And when it comes to my dogs, I have another like account for that one. I just collab post with mine. So because so all of these things, they're like separate aspects, but they're all still me. So yeah, it's all about collaboration, and sometimes I feel like I'm bipolar or so it's like totally split
Yeah.
personality, especially on the weekends because that's when I take my break and be with my dogs and all that. But yeah, it's all about knowing your passions and just be happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just be genuinely happy with what you do. If something like me personally, if I don't like one thing, it's not making me happy anymore, let go of it, no matter how much money I spent on it. So it's because it's gonna drain you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all about the proper energies and balancing everything in your life.
Would you say that also, like by maintaining all these different facets in your life, you're able to establish credibility in your field?
I think so. It's especially in our field, it's very holistic. It's not very one-dimensional. I wouldn't really say that I'm in perfect health. It's always a journey. So yeah, definitely being authentic. I think would brought us a long way because yeah, like I mentioned earlier, we would always just say like no matter how many clinics or how many wellness establishments are there, end of the day we do our best for our patients, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about
Yeah.
that.
How was it in your journey in building a community? Because community
It was-
matters to you a lot. We had
Yes.
a
We had
lot of
this discussion,
conversations
right? Yeah.
about how your community's so loyal to you. They've become your friends. How was that journey of building that?
I think it was about finding kindred spirits. Like, if it was when we started out Centro, it was just the four of us, four doctors, me, my husband, Dr. Afra, and Dr. Mikey. So we're like a two couple team, and then we were the good thing about building communities, or the hard thing is you have to have a personal connection with each one. That's how you keep on. That's how you gravitate to each other, right? You have to have like somehow a personal connection. And if it was just gonna be the four of us doing all of these things, we will not be able to build that community because each person can only handle so much,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So we were able to build because we were able to also to build that community of doctors. There's about I think 20 of us now. We started with four, and then now there's 20 that with in different age groups, and each doctor brings in something special. And with each doctor, they're able to pull in more people that gravitate towards them, and just we're able to build that community and spread the word. And I think I mentioned this to you guys that we are constantly expanding,
Yeah.
not just in terms of like the number of treatments or number of patients, but also in where we are. So with the number of doctors that we have, we're able to just spread out, and we're gonna have our first provincial branch this year.
It's amazing.
So
Amazing.
yeah, so that we're very happy about that. People have always asked us like, when are you gonna go out of Manila? We're like,
Yes.
when I find a doctor that's willing to bring us outside of Manila, and thankfully,
Where is this branch going to be?
in Lipa, Batangas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So hopefully by
Exciting.
end of Q3, I think we'll be opening there.
Oh my gosh, exciting.
Yeah.
More for people residing in Batangas. Here you
Yes,
go.
more,
Centro
more.
Holistico there. Um, Now, I want to go through on some of the deeper questions that we will be talking about, like founder journey and everything. When it comes to like a woman's sense of self-worth and her physical health, how do you think one drives the other, or are they inseparable?
Depends on the person. There are certain people, they claim that they don't mind being a certain weight or a certain height or certain color, as long as they're doing what they do or they're passionate about it. But I have a feeling at the end of the day, they still look at themselves in the mirror and see that I don't like this, I don't like that. It's just that they know how to mask it well, or because they have a deeper sense of purpose that they're able to, ignore what's going on in the outside. But for you, whatever's going on in the inside, it actually manifests what's
Mm.
outside, right? If you're healthy inside, everything else will follow.
Yeah.
So if a founder or someone that wants to found something, they have to imbibe what they're founding. Okay, I always
Yes.
tell my
Yeah.
doctors, guys, we cannot be big. We cannot be
Yeah.
have bad skin and all of
Yeah.
that, because bad skin actually represents like a bad gut,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
So whatever you're trying to build, you have to look it.
Yeah.
You have to live your brand.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If you're going to be promoting health and wellness, you have to also embody health and
you
wellness.
have to look health and
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Healthy and
You-
well.
Someone told me this in coaching as well. Like, you are your first client.
Mhm.
So even if you are talking to someone who's dealing with, in my space, like self-love or self-worth, it's also a mirror to you of like, where can I look at my own journey of self-worth and self-love
Yep.
to be able to hold space for another person also dealing with that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Like with me, if for those who did not know me last year, I was 40 pounds heavier. And for how many years I've been trying to get rid of that. After I gave birth, like my God, having kids is gonna reverse your youth in the body. So I'm a very career driven girl. So after giving birth, I went straight to work, right?
Wow,
Like eight
yeah.
weeks, I was cesarean. Like after 8 weeks, usually it's like
Oh my gosh.
usually a 12-week break.
Yeah.
But after 8 weeks, I was like, I'm back at work now. So the recovery wasn't good. I felt like kaya naman.
Yeah.
But because of that, because I did not give myself enough time to recover, did not get those, the sleep hours and everything, my body could not reverse itself like as much as I wanted to.
Mm.
And I resorted to a lot of things. So of course I still had all of the treatments that we have in Centro. But there are some things that I did the meds, I did whatever. It would work, but then it would have side effects.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, we have all of these regenerative treatments now that helps you bring back that youth or like make your body work better. So yeah, I eventually availed of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all about being mindful, knowing your body, like, and doing everything that you can. Like people keep on asking me, why don't you look bagsak, or why don't you look,
Yeah.
diba? Or why was it a lot faster for you? Maybe because I was already doing a lot of things, everything, like my diet, the exercise is still gonna, I need Monica to push me for that one. But in terms of like the diet, the supplementation, the sleep, everything was already in check. So one little thing, I just added one little thing, and then it just made everything.
Was it hormones or?
I did peptides. I did
Yeah.
hormones. So I first did the hormones, the bioidentical hormones. It did help my body push it, like, to how much it can repair, and then we did the peptides already. So with the peptides, because it's really, they're like mini biological miracle workers,
Yeah.
because your body already has all of those things. It's just that because of the damage that I did in my body in my 20s and in my early 30s, it's really some things that get damaged just doesn't repair itself on its own. So,
I'm very sure we were at the same clubs.
right.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I know where you were in
Yeah.
2010.
I want to ask this important question, and I feel like it's like something that I don't want to miss now that we have you on the podcast. But what do you think, and what's your opinion about like the like abundance of like access to weight loss opportunities, weight loss injectables, specifically for this generation? Because like you mentioned, like for Centro Holistico, you have like an initial assessment interview with the doctor.
Yeah.
But right now it's easily accessible by anyone and everyone.
And TikTok, yeah, everywhere. It's everywhere. As long as you know where their source is, and you know that everything is good and it won't give you like a liver issue, and you're assessed properly by a doctor, because remember, all of these injectables, they affect your body biologically and down to the cellular level.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it too much, it will backfire eventually, diba? So whenever I get patients that want to go on these injections, I always tell them we have to monitor you closely. Like with me, we were doing our labs every 3 months or so, just to make sure that the pancreas is okay, the thyroid is okay, the homocysteine levels are okay, and all of that. If you're not monitored, next thing you know, it's all baliktad na.
Yeah.
So, and we actually had this patient. He's actually a friend of ours that he's been on these injectables for maybe I think 9 months ish.
Oh no.
And then he got thin.
Yeah.
Also, when we saw the liver enzyme, it was through the roof.
Oh my gosh.
And if you're on these peptides, these injectables, it's not supposed to increase your liver enzymes.
Yeah.
It's supposed to normalize it, because if everything is good, So I was like, okay, so now you know why it's so cheap. Diba? It probably has all of those things that your body needed to detoxify, and now your liver's like that. So as long as you know the source, where they get it from, they have to be reputable. These things are not like the herbal supplements that you take
Yeah.
orally that you can just poop out if there's nothing there, if it's just
Yes.
fiber there,
It's
diba?
direct injection.
Yes, it's injections, and they're literally biological things, diba, that will go into your body. So you really have to be careful.
Because I think a lot of the times people will only see the exterior change
Yes.
and not,
they're gonna be super
not-
happy about
and they're
it.
Yeah.
happy about it, but really looking at the interior
Yep.
effect as well is really important.
Yep.
Right?
The thing with Filipinos, we're more about the vanity sometimes. Like, I want to do this
Culturally,
because
Look thin.
yeah, I want to look thin. I
this.
want my tummy to be smaller,
Yeah.
etc., etc. But we have to remember, why do we want to be thin in the first place,
Yeah.
diba? Is it just to be thin, or you want to be healthy?
Yeah.
So you have to find that balance.
I remember before there was a phase where there was all these supplements to make you whiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
everyone and their mother is like on a pill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but to be
Right?
fair those supplements, so it's the glutathione, diba?
Yeah.
Like, that's the active
Yes.
ingredient. It's good for liver detoxification and for antioxidant, ganyan. The side effect lang talaga is you get to...
It was just marketed
It's
more
really
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is an overdose.
Yeah.
So if you
Yes.
take too much of it, diba, or addict, like, I need a shot every day, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And you have
Yeah.
to make sure that the supplements and all the injectables come from a reputable brand.
But also pairing it with their lifestyle, right?
Yes.
Like, what's all the injections if they don't work out, if they don't eat
Exactly.
healthy, if they don't sleep well?
Yeah, all of these things are just supplements to your lifestyle, to what you do on a daily basis. Because if you still eat like crazy, even with all of these injections, or you don't watch what you eat, you're not gonna maximize. Sayang lang the pera, diba?
Yeah.
Like, I have another patient. He's big. But he was treated by his mom to these injections, to the GLP-1s, and then he was not, he was just injecting every week. He's like, why am I not losing weight? I'm like, okay, do you feel full after eating? Yeah, but there's still food, so I still eat it. Okay. What about the appetite? Does it get suppressed? Yeah, but it's dinner time, so I have to eat. And my girlfriend is here. I have to eat. Mga ganon.
So it's a habit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's in the brain. If their mind is not in it, it's not gonna work. Okay, you can overcome the appetite suppression, honestly.
Yeah.
If just after some time, you will get over it.
Yeah. It's such a lesson also that it's not a one-time magic thing that once you inject it, you're gonna lose magically weight overnight.
It's not.
Like
it's a
it
journey.
takes discipline also.
Yes, and there are some people that they don't initially lose the weight because there's a lot of things going on biologically inside. There's maybe it's a thyroid issue, maybe it's a hormone issue. So that's why the labs are important. That's why the assessment is very important because we want to maximize everything.
Yeah.
Diba?
So, in Mod Labs, we also have a lot of leaders that are high functioning. What health advice can you give to women that are running on empty, experiencing burnout, and how do they? So, what do we tell ourselves on these couches?
It's us.
Right? Right? Like, what is? But real talk.
Yeah.
We're very successful, ambitious, but like running on empty, tired. How do we talk to these women?
Sleep. I tell them
Sleep.
to sleep.
Mm.
There are a lot of women who think that 5 hours of sleep is enough, or what they're getting as long as they're lying down and they're asleep for like 8 hours, but their sleep is not as deep. It really brings down the body. There's no kapalit for sleep. So I really tell them, you need to rest. Okay, there's such a thing as the parasympathetic and the sympathetic system. If your
Yeah.
body is always on the fight and flight
Flight.
mode, wala, you're not gonna function. I mean, diba, if it's always on, it has to be turned on and off.
Yeah.
So they have to really rest. And it's parang your career it's not gonna go away in like 1 week. Take a vacation.
Yeah.
Diba? 1 week lang yan. Or like your retreat. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just a weekend. Diba?
Just 3 days.
Yeah, it's not your family's not gonna go away in 3 days. Just take that time for yourself. Always. Because again, unfortunately for us, our hormones are, up and down, and nauubos din siya.
Yeah.
And they just have to be very, very mindful with what's going on in their bodies.
And you talked about sleep. I had the doctor before. I had a consultation, and she said like you have to have like 8 hours of sleep, 7 hours of sleep, and I was like, can I just sleep for like 14 hours to compensate for the number of hours that I slept for like Monday to Friday?
It's like, doctor, nag-duty.
And I'm like trying to bargain, and she's like, no, that doesn't work.
Doesn't
Your
work.
body doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Even alcohol intake, because before I was
Same.
like haggling. So for example, if like I don't drink from Monday to Friday, can I have 7 glasses of wine on the weekend?
It's like negotiating your leave with
Yeah.
HR.
Same,
You're like, if I don't
same.
take a leave for the first 6 months, can I put everything here
Yeah.
this month?
Yeah.
But it doesn't work that
It
way.
doesn't work if you do it regularly.
Yeah.
So, for example, for doctors, diba, when we did duties in the hospitals, I went through it for like 2 years lang, as compared to my other colleagues who go through like 4 years or 7 years of that. It's a long, you put your body in a stressful situation for such a long time. It's not, yes, it's gonna adapt, but at the same time, there is a consequence to that. Your insulin levels are gonna be haywire, your cortisol levels. I think I talked
Yeah.
about this time and time again with you guys. But yeah, there is always a consequence. So if it's just short term, your body can adapt. Like you, if you're gonna drink once a month lang naman on a weekend, 7 glasses of wine, and then make up for it for 1 month, it's maybe kaya. Basta you get the right ingredients for your body to detoxify the alcohol and everything. But the sleep also, yon, it's a bit hard. Maybe bawi weekends, but not every weekend.
Yeah.
Diba? So, everything in moderation. We have an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time you're perfect. Perfect or good, 20%. You have that little leeway to do your
Balance.
stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just practice balance.
balance.
Everything
Yeah.
in balance.
But what's your balance, diba?
So we're actually over time, so we might have to edit this podcast. But we have 2 questions to ask just to wrap up. What does healthy and healed look like for you?
Happiness. As long as you're happy with what's going on and functioning. Happy and functioning. Because you can be happy, but, not functional at all. So, yeah, my goal is to die happy and beautiful.
There you go, girl. And then, would you like to ask the last question?
Sorry, what was the last question?
At Mod Labs.
Liit eh.
Yeah. We're like, what's it? I swear it's like font size 10.
Okay. So at Mod, we actually believe that every brand starts with clarity of identity. So we like to end this podcast with a simple question. Fill in the blanks. I'm Dr. Candy and I'm blank.
A catalyst.
Love
I
it.
love it. I love it. All right. So for those of you watching or listening, Doc Candy, how can people work with you? How can they reach you? feel free to invite them to Centro Holistico also.
Yes, so if you guys want to do a consultation with us, you can message Centro Holistico or BioVitalis on Instagram. And then we can also, if you guys want to connect with me, I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. Just send me a message. If I don't reply right away, I will reply to you eventually, I promise. So yeah, do follow my brands and follow me on my socials.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So, thank you so much for listening to our podcast today with Dr. Candy. We're so happy to have this conversation and we're so grateful for your time.
Thank you guys.
And if you guys would like to connect with Mod Labs, you can email us at discover@modlabs.com. Check us out on social media at Mod Labs or check out our website, modlabs.com. Thank you again and see you in the next episode.